Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing Comic Uno's top 10 Kickstarters of the month. And before I get started, I do have a couple of Kickstarters of my own. First up is Beast in Snow. It is Belle as a werewolf and Snow White as a vampire. They fall in love. It's a not safe for work book, so hopefully you guys could go check that one out. This issue in particular explores the secret origin story of the evil queen. We also have The Dancer. She's a dancer slash assassin, and when she was little, she witnessed her parents being murdered in front of her and never dealt with that trauma until now. This is the complete collection, so if you've wanted to catch up with the book, this is a great opportunity to do so. There's also a 4-page exclusive story in there as well. I also do Kickstarter consulting, so if you're looking to up your game for Kickstarter, message me and we could do some consulting. Now, I also have some friend Kickstarters going on, and then we'll jump into the top 10. First up is Proctor. This is another kind of complete collection, so if you're looking for more of a beginning, middle, and end, go check this one out. It is about this girl who's, been hard on her luck, doesn't seem like she'd be the chosen one, and ends up being the chosen one. So kind of more of an adult Buffy. Then we have Evie and Helsings. So if you like Van Helsing, it's a twist on that story, and it has a bit of rock and roll as a taste there. And then lastly, we have CARMILLA Unbound. This one's a cool one because you have this old vampire from Dracula, CARMILLA, and she's in the 1980s. It's sexy. It's a cool twist on a classic character. Now let's jump on to the top 10. Number 10 for me is Office World, an interactive graphic novel. I just thought this was really outside the box. I think it's a little bit of a mystery as well, but you have different codes that you can use. And again, it's what it says. It's an interactive comic, so you get to play along with the comic book. Honestly, I haven't seen something like this on Kickstarter. So it's like a choose your own adventure, but like a next level up from there. So that's number 10 for me. Moving on to number 9, Lost Lake issue 1. I'm a sucker for a slasher story, so this is exactly that. 3 girls, they are friends, they go on this trip, and of course there's going to be some slasher things that ensue. It just seems like a very classic version of the slashers we all know and love. So that is number 9 for me. Moving on to number 8, which is Grimm Space, Cinder-Ella. It's a sci-fi series where you have the twist of obviously Cinderella, and you put in a mystery with that, which honestly, how have you not done a mystery with Cinderella? It's the missing shoe. Who has the missing shoe? I just thought it was a really cool way to do the public domain and think outside the box. So that is number 8 for me. Moving on to number 7, Come Out and Play, the queer sports project. I was super excited for this one when it was originally announced and was very excited to back it. I love sports, and I really love the idea of putting that into comic books, but then the added element being queer characters. So I love an anthology that again kind of goes a bit more niche and really has a direct theme. So, there's definitely anthologies like it's just horror, but like what's the focus? I think anthologies that do that are usually the more successful one. Moving on to number 6, which is Dark Science Volume 1. This is from a creator who has a big fan base. It's steampunk, queer romance, so it's everything I kind of like. Enjoy a good queer romance, and the artwork looked fun for this one, so that is number 6 for me. Moving on to number 5, another anthology, Transfixed, a trans and genderqueer erotic fairy tale anthology. Again, going back to it, we don't have enough trans representation, so to have a genderqueer anthology I thought was really special. And then to have the fairy tale twist and also make it a not safe for work book, I really like the direction of that, and it makes it very specific, which again, I think really caters to a successful anthology. Moving on to number 4, which is Match Made in Hell Volume 1. This is by Rocket Ship, who does plenty of great Kickstarters, especially in the webtoon space and webcomic space. I just really like the art for this. And also I like the preview. I feel like it drew me into the story, where it's about this girl who reconnects with one of their childhood friends and goes through the drama of that. It seems like there's a eclectic cast as well, and again, the artwork drew me in a lot for this one, and the writing, the preview. That's what you should use your preview for, is to have people read it and be like, well, I kind of want to see more. I think some Kickstarters tend to just be like, here's some random pages, or here's just some random panels. Like, I want that preview to see if I'm gonna pick up a book or not. So a really well made page there. That is number 4 for me. Moving on to number 3, Banana SIOULE. Don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's a futuristic sports book. Again, I like a good sports comic book. It has that anime feel to it. It's like, I think it's based on those like action animes, so it's kind of a cool twist of different genres into a comic book. So that's number 3 for me. Moving on to number 2, Zombie Trap versus Hack and Slash. What a smart way to do a Kickstarter. You have 2 very popular indie horror titles, and they're like, let's smack them together and do a crossover. And again, it does have that anime style to the artwork, which Zombie Tramp already kind of has, and Hack and Slash has been around for so many years and has been touched by so many creators that it fits for that series. So that one I'm super excited for as a fan of just comics and indie comics. Moving on to number 1, which is PAPERFILMS team up Painkiller, Jane, and G.I. Zombie. Jimmy Palmiotti is doing amazing stuff in comics. I love what he's done for crowdfunding, and this is a great example of that. You have one of his more popular characters, Painkiller Jane, and her crossing over with a DC character. I was like, wow, you definitely don't see that very often. So to have Jimmy make that partnership and to get that character to write this really cool story, I thought was just a really cool way to use Kickstarter and just a really outside the box premise for a campaign. That's my number 1 pick. Let me know in the comments below what were your favorite comics of the month. And this is Comic Uno, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.